particularly challenging gospel. Jesus is telling us about to not be afraid, not to be afraid of death, not to be afraid of judgment. Today's saint who we celebrate, St. Margaret Mary Alacoque, lived in the 17th century in France. Yesterday we celebrated St. Teresa of Avila, who lived 100 years prior in Spain, about 1,000 kilometres from where Margaret Mary was. And St. Teresa of Avila, who we thought about yesterday, was about trying to bring us to very much an experience of the heart and then of union with God, and that we're on a journey deeper into the castle of God's kingdom. So Margaret Mary Alacoque, she had a great connection with the heart of Jesus Christ. And throughout her life, she came deeper and deeper into that deep love of Jesus Christ. And she promoted what then became known as, and what has become known as, the devotion to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Almost every single church you go into in this country, and in many other countries as well, you'll find a statue of the Blessed Virgin Mary, as we have here. And you'll also see a statue of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, which we have over the other side. And that's because of St. Margaret Mary Alacoque. If you go to churches built prior to the 17th century, prior to today's saint, you're probably not going to see the Sacred Heart of Jesus statue maybe at all in the church, or if you do, it might be hidden down in some side altar because it arrived in the 18th or 19th century. But all churches, almost every church that has built, even some of the more contemporary churches in Australia, have the Sacred Heart of Jesus, because the Sacred Heart of Jesus really is about what we are about. We are about the love of Jesus Christ, that heart of Jesus Christ. And that's a development of what we had from yesterday's feast day of St. Teresa of Avila, who calls us to union with that heart. And then St. Margaret Mary Alacoque in France, 100 years later, then starts to talk about how each of us are called to experience that love of Jesus Christ every single day. And she had visions of Jesus Christ about this love, and asked, within those visions, Margaret Mary was asked to promote a devotion to the Sacred Heart through statues, but also through the First Friday devotions, which we've been starting here in the parish, a period of prayer on the first Friday of the month to dedicate it to the Sacred Heart. Margaret Mary had her own struggles, like St. Teresa did yesterday as well. For a period of time, people thought she was a bit crazy. They thought she was a bit unusual. They didn't believe what was happening in her life. As a young child, she was very sick, and she was in bed for about 4 years, according to the writings. And during that time, towards the end of it, she made a pledge to God that if she was healed, she would dedicate her life to Jesus Christ as a religious nun. She was healed. And then she became a teenager, and she forgot about that pledge that she'd made. And at that time in history, people who became nuns, they normally became nuns, they went into the convents about 15, 16, 17 years old. Margaret Mary didn't. She went off, did her own little thing for a while. And it was in her mid-20s that God reminded her of this pledge that she'd made. And then from there, she then went into religious life at the age of 24. So quite older when you think about it. And then she went on that great journey to experience Jesus appearing to her through private revelations, and then promoting this great love of the Sacred Heart. When you see the Sacred Heart of Jesus statue in our church and other churches, know that it's because of today's saint, St. Margaret Mary Alacoque, who experienced the love of Jesus and wanted to promote and share that love with everyone. Let's today pray that we can experience that love of Jesus as well, and that we can bring the love of Jesus to our world today. St. Margaret Mary Alacoque, pray for us.